Last night's matches were postponed. So it's Burnden Park, Bolton first then, where Wimbledon were not just attempting to remain the capital's sole survivors, but also trying to prevent the first division leaders from claiming a hat-trick of London Premiership scalps in this season's competition. Could the Dons succeed where Chelsea and Spurs both failed? Clive Tildesley is your commentator.
A quarter-final meeting of two teams the rest will have been happy to avoid. Nobody has gate-crashed more parties than Wimbledon. Nobody has kicked more Premiership sides out of the cups than Bolton. No fewer than 9 in the last 4 years. Here's their bouncer-in-chief. John McGinley has contributed 11 goals to those cup shocks. He's scored in every round of this season's Coca-Cola, culminating in a hat-trick in the 6-goal mauling of Spurs here. McGinley is one of only 2 survivors from the Bolton team that met Liverpool in the Wembley final less than 2 years ago. David Lee, recalled to the side tonight, is the other. Colin Todd's 22-year-old son Andy deputises for injured skipper Gudni Bergson, but there's still bags of experience in that lineup. John Sheridan scored the Sheffield Wednesday goal that beat Manchester United in the 1991 League Cup final. Wimbledon are close to full strength. Dean Holdsworth's domestic problems the only complication to their build-up. Both Chris Perry and Robbie Earle, absentees from the win at Everton last time out, are fit to resume. Amongst the Wimbledon substitutes tonight, 37-year-old Mick Harford, who was a League Cup winner with Luton Town coming up 9 years ago. Referee Gerald Ashby didn't need a pitch inspection. Bolton were one of the very first clubs to install undersoil heating here at Burnden Park. Next season they move to a brand new stadium. 2 steps from Wembley, 2 form teams. Bolton Wanderers, the leading team, the leading scorers in the Football League. 3 straight wins immediately behind them. Wimbledon in red tonight, beaten just once since the opening week of the season. Here is McGinley, beaten to it in the air by Dean Blackwell. Helped by Coca into the path of Ardley. And now Marcus Gale. Both teams sat out the weekend. This is Wimbledon's first game for over a week. They rested key players in the earlier rounds of the competition, but not now. Promotion is obviously Bolton's priority, but reaching the final didn't get in the way of that priority 2 years ago. They called in at Wembley on the way up to the Premiership then. They'd love to do the same again. Jones throw to Gale. Looking longer towards Robbie Earle this time. Knocked down towards Ardley. Well, it was straight at Gavin Ward. But it was hit with timing and power by Neil Ardley. Sharp chance. Ward perfectly positioned. Kimball's clearance only as far as Lee. Tidied up by Blackwell. Offside against Blake. Trying to feed off Todd's pass. Gale, then from Ardley, and here's a Coca, and that's the opening goal from Coca. Inside of 3 minutes, Wimbledon in front. Great start for Joe Kinnear's side. Jerry Taggart was doing his level best to hold off a Coca and looked in danger of conceding a penalty. But in the end, it didn't matter. The 2 flick-ons, first from Gale, then from Ardley, and I'm sure that would have been a foul. But Coca dispatched it with great aplomb. Really well taken goal by Coca. Into double figures for the season. Todd's header finding France. Bolton Wanderers haven't really had a chance to get started yet. Already they're a goal down. Sellers, though, into the path of Blake. That'll be a corner. Perry put under pressure. Hearty roar from the throats of the home fans, stunned by Coca's opener. Imperative from Bolton Wanderers' point of view that Wimbledon don't get time to settle on their lead and feel comfortable with it. Flick from Blake. Sullivan had his post covered. Nathan Blake first to the ball, but the angle was all against him. Jones, helped on by Ardley, cleared by Fairclough. This is Franson. Run for Blake. Jones got a foot in. On by Sellers this time. Caught a little late by Jones. The Wimbledon skipper was making a genuine attempt to get to the ball. Just didn't quite arrive in time. Sellers. This is Lee. Oh, Leonardson was high then, caught David Lee in the midriff. This is shin actually that he's holding. The Norwegian trying to help out his fullback Alan Kimball, aware of the threat that Lee's pace and elusiveness can cause. Sellers with the free kick. McGinley beyond the far post, and the ball was already out of play. No goal. It was Taggart who dispatched the ball into the net, for the record. I think probably the reaction of the other players is the main indication that. Sheridan couldn't clear, on by Ardley, Taggart in the way. Now Sellers. Sheridan. Sellers. Through to Blake. Franson. This is Small. Blake again. Quick cross this time towards McGinley. Hit the post. Oh, Wimbledon were lucky then. I can't believe that Nathan Blake was actually firing for goal, but that's what he very nearly found. Just twisted. Tried to float an early cross towards John McGinley and nearly hit the jackpot. It's a Bolton throw. Leonardson. Coca couldn't control it. Might get a second chance here by Taggart. He recovered. Ooh, given away by Sheridan dangerously to Gale. Still Marcus Gale. Still. Managed to poke it out to Ardley. Cunningham. Franson got in a challenge. And Sheridan will be relieved, trying to pass the ball across the face of his own penalty area. No flag here. Sellers in pursuit. Sullivan committed. A little lucky there, the Wimbledon goalkeeper. It fell for Cunningham. Wasn't the best header of the night. Always a threat though when Wimbledon break. Coca to Leonardson. 2-0. Effortlessly converted by Øyvind Leonardson. Curling shot, which gives Wimbledon a 2-goal lead with less than a quarter of the match play. Well, Joe Kinnear says he's turned down two £4 million offers for Leonardson from Italian clubs this season. If he ever did become available, there would be English clubs interested too. There's a lot of energy about him, but there's a class about his football, epitomised by that stylish finish. It's Leonarsson's 4th goal of the season. It's Wimbledon's 2nd of the night, who have a measure of control here now, smooth control. Blackwell hacking the ball away as Blake tries to unsettle the Wimbledon defence. Anxious faces on the terraces. Todd. Sheridan. Tidied up by Earl, who then ran into Franson. Blocked by Chris Perry. Now David Lee. Again, just outnumbered when he gained possession, David Lee. He's finding it very difficult to find a way past Kimball and Leonarsson. Blake held off Blackwell that time. It's Nathan Blake! Well, Sullivan had to make the save. He does use his frame so well to back into and turn defenders like that. And his confidence is so high that even though McGinley was up with him, Blake was only ever going to go for goal. Cunningham beating Todd to it at the near post. Back in by Small. Away by Earl. And now it's come for Leonarsson. Just as well that Fairclough intervened because Coca was on his way otherwise. Jones trying to feed Coca. Now Earl. All the time Bolton dogged by the constant tread of Gale here and Coca on the counter. They're a nuisance, the pair of them. So much speed and so much self-belief at the moment. Blake though. Now Franson. McGinley trying to break ahead of him. Per Franson on the ball. Blackwell managed to get to him and Franson was a little unlucky. The ball ricocheted away for a Wimbledon goal kick. Flag raised rather belatedly against Robbie Earl. I think the flag is up on the far side. Bolton have possession now. It was a flag against Wimbledon, so it's now down. Jones through the legs of Lee. That's a searching pass to Ward, coming off limits to clear. It'll only come for Ardley though. Cunningham is breaking to his right. Sellers covering. Well, Bolton's balloon was deflated in just 3 minutes really by Efan Okoku's strength both in the challenge and indeed in the volley. Oyvind Leonarsson with a curling shot doubled Wimbledon's lead midway through the half, and the hardy bunch of Wimbledon fans are preparing to celebrate another good night in a very good season. They lead 2-0 at the break.
With the mustard.
This is only the second time that Wimbledon have reached the quarterfinals of this competition. Certainly don't have a record to write home about in the old League Cup. Never been to the semi-finals. Never, of course, sampled European football, which is still a guarantee for this season's Coca-Cola Cup winners. But you wouldn't bet against them being a part of one of those European draws next summer. Certainly the odds against Bolton stopping them tonight have risen since the departure of John McGinley, who damaged a calf muscle in training yesterday and suffered a recurrence tonight. given. Gale getting the benefit of any doubt. Taggart furious. Well, I mean, that is called talking your way into the referee's notebook. There can only be one outcome, whatever he said. However upset he may be, to go right eyeball to eyeball with the referee and then to continue. It's been a frustrating night for Bolton, but Gerry Taggart, an international player, captain for the night, can't allow too much of that emotion to spill over. Was he right to get upset? Well, maybe he was. Corner has been given. Dealt with by Franson. Nice ball from Ardley. Back to Kimball. Not such a good ball from him. Lee in pursuit with Cunningham. Here's David Lee. He has Scott Green in the middle. This is Scott Green! It was Øyvind Leonardsen who got back to cover. Tempting cross from David Lee, but Øyvind Leonardsen managed to get goal side of Scott Green as he headed for goal. Corner kick. Sellers. Now Sheridan. Oh, good save by Sullivan. This is Blake. Oh, maybe turned the wrong way there, but what a good stop by Neil Sullivan. Good hit from John Sheridan through the crowd, and Sullivan at full stretch just managed to palm it away. Referee's assistant on the near side is summoning Gerald Ashby over to him. Dave Booth here clearly has something to report. And it's Phil Brown, the Bolton assistant manager, the first team coach to give him his correct title, who is now being invited to join his manager Colin Todd in the stands. Oh no, he's got one last warning, has he? No, he is going. I thought that was it. Here's Jones. Cunningham. A long time. Ward had plenty of opportunity to come and claim it. Oh, Small with a loose pass. This is Earl, and now Leonardsen. A sharp stop by Gavin Ward, but it could have been a lot worse for Bolton Wanderers. Brian Small would be mighty relieved. Sheridan. Branson. Kerry again. Run back momentarily by Sellers. Jones climbing high, but it'll come for David Lee. Again, chased into the corner by Leonardsen, which enabled Kimball to make the tackle. Lee's cross. Good one. Green with a flick. Sullivan just managed to beat it away. Caught almost by surprise there. The Wimbledon goalkeeper reacted well. Scott Sellers. Nathan Blake. Chris Fairclough is forward, but Kenny Cunningham is there. And Kimball escaping a rather lax moment. David Lee conceding the goal kick, but certainly Neil Sullivan has been called into action a couple of times in this second half. A few more interested spectators than the Manchester United manager. Tackle's being forced back by Gale. Good leap again by Perry. Foul there by Coca. Here's Sheridan. Lee. Bolton seeing a lot of the ball. Seeing one or two glimpses of the Wimbledon goal. Lake. Lee. That's a searching cross. Green was in there. He claims he was held. Cunningham was the defender. Referee says nothing doing. This is Sellers. It's another good cross. Blake's there this time. And Wimbledon survive once more. Good spell of pressure this for Bolton Wanderers. And in the midst of that, Scott Green felt that he should have had a penalty as he tried to get on the end of Lee's cross. Cunningham certainly made it very difficult for him, shall we say. Wimbledon looked fairly measured in the first half in particular, but Bolton have rattled them at times in this second. Leonard's Earl, good play. And run into a bit of a cul-de-sac. Green down to Blake. Tucked it into Green. And now Franson! Maybe a yard and a half wide. Maybe Sullivan's dive had the post covered anyway. Scott Green's done well here as an auxiliary forward. Setting up Franson that time. Colin Todd now down at ground level, his assistant up in the stands. Pollock. Away by Blackwell. Jokineer played in an FA Cup winning team with Jimmy Greaves and Dave Mackay and Pat Jennings and Terry Venables back in 1967. Wimbledon have had enough know-how and ringcraft to defend the lead that they established in the opening quarter of the game. Franson, and now Blake. Here's Pollock. Sellers. Jamie Pollock again. Head away by Brian McAllister. It was needed again after Ardley's miscue, and here's Andy Clark. Now he's got some real pace. Todd across with the challenge. Clark in pursuit of Ardley's pass. Jones. Ardley. Offside. It's less than 20 years since Wimbledon replaced Workington in the Football League. 17th of June 1977, a red letter day. Somehow professional football's never been quite the same since. They were still in the 4th division back in 1983. And now here they are, standing 5th in the Premiership and on the verge of a major semi-final. They're there. Wimbledon's first cup semi-final since 1988, the year of the Crazy Gang's finest hour against Liverpool at Wembley. There's been game with 2 goals in the opening quarter from Coca and Øyvind Leonardsen. Wimbledon reached the semi-finals of the League Cup for the first time in a club history on which the ink never seems to quite dry. A club that is always moving forward, always defying its critics and the odds. And Bolton Wanderers were unable to complete a capital hat-trick tonight. Wimbledon were triumphant, where Chelsea and Tottenham were beaten, triumphant by 2 goals to 0. They're in the semis.
No, but it was just nice to get off to that start. That's what we needed, and we needed to keep the crowd quiet tonight, and we knew that they were buzzing, but a lot was said before the game, and people were starting to predict that we'd fall like Chelsea and Tottenham. That sort of gave us a little bit of incentive to prove everybody wrong again, and the boys were very professional, very calm about it, and very determined.
I mean, this game's important for us. You know, we've been reading the papers the last couple of days what Bolton were going to do and what they weren't going to do to us, and how loud their getter blaster was and how loud it wasn't. So, you know, they should have get a little bit more quiet, because it made us more determined tonight.
You're not used to being favourites or amongst the favourites for a competition, are you?
Not really, no. We've never been favourites in our lives, but we've been going along in the right manner this year, and we've stayed injury-free, which has kept the continuity of the team going, and had to make some decisions today. I had to leave McAllister out and bring Chris Perry back, but it was the right decision, and they played exceptionally well at the back four, and we're looking forward to the semis now, and just hope we get a decent draw.
Yeah, and hopefully that we can do a little bit this year, and then people can stop putting this blanket over us, saying what a fairy tale it is, because you know, our fairy tales went in 1988, and we've been building ever since. So you know, fairy tales are for kids, not for professional footballers.
Vinnie Jones, ever the realist, but David Seaman, Wimbledon's story this season, it's a fairy tale story, really, isn't it?
It certainly is. You know, one defeat in, what, 22 matches?
22.
Yeah, and they're going great.
The amazing thing is, I mean, Chelsea and Spurs went to Burnden Park showing fear. Yeah. There was no fear with Wimbledon tonight at the beginning, was there? They just went at them.
That's just perfect for Wimbledon. You know, Wimbledon love that sort of thing, going into places where it's going to be hard, and they always produce the goods.
After 3 minutes, they produced the goods.
Yeah, exactly. It was a great start for them. You know.
F and a Coca.
Yeah, you know, great ball in there, nice flick on, and he just, you know, holds the guy off.
He does well, actually. It's a real battle, David, isn't it, here?
Yeah, certainly. He's holding him off there, using his strength, and then when he gets to the end, he keeps his balance. So he's eye on the ball, and it's a great finish.
He hooks it in.
Yeah, brilliant.
So they got that start, and then the Norwegian. You don't want to pronounce Øyvind, do you?
I'll stick to Leonardsen.
Øyvind Leonardsen, stick to the Norwegian, yeah. But once again, I mean, it's a beautifully taken goal, and from a goalkeeper's point of view, no chance.
No, not at all. You know, he's controlled it there, pulled it inside. He still kept his balance. There's one way he's going to put that, but he puts it right in the corner. You know, and the goalie's got no chance.
He just set himself up. You know, don't you, as a goalkeeper, once you're in that position?
You know roughly, but you don't go, you know, you don't gamble, just in case he flicks it to the other side. But he curled it in great.
He's been attracting a lot of attention, Leonardsen, hasn't he, from abroad?
Yeah, exactly, you know, and playing like that, there's no wonder.
And in the second half, he was back there. Joe Kinnear's come out tonight, said that they defended a lot more in the second half. They were trying to defend the 2-0.
Yeah. But that's what you do, you know, you go out the first half, you know, they could have been 3 or 4 up, you know, but as we see here, you know, that Leonardsen is getting back, not only just scoring, he's getting back and getting great blocks in there. You know, like you said, there's no wonder the £4 million bids are coming in. I don't know why they took him off.
I know, well, he went off at the end, but they'd won the game. The thing about Wimbledon, you know exactly what to expect. In the Premiership this year, you played against them. Twice Arsenal were ahead.
Yeah, that's right. And
twice they came back.
They came back, you know, and they're playing well. You know what you're going to get with Wimbledon, but they do it, but they do it good.
They're very close to a European place, a semi-final here.
They're not far off us as well.
I know, they could be top.
In the league, exactly. You know, they've got games in hand, and like I say, Europe, who knows?
Okay, thanks, David. Well done, Wimbledon. Coming up next, a hugely attractive tie at the Riverside Stadium.